Mason, do you want to go first?
No, actually, I just wanted to tell them about Steph told me to come say hi. Oh, cool.
All right, Pat, it's been a bit of a herky-jerky kind of schedule. How does that affect routine, and how do you guys come into this? Because, I think it's 3 games in 18 days. Todd said 4 in 22. How does that affect the everyday life of a player?
It gets boring practicing every day, even though practice isn't his habits, and you try to work on things that you need to get better at. But for us, we want to play games, and we get in a routine of playing every other day. I think that's when our team gets in a groove, and that's when our team's has been successful when we've been playing a lot. So, tonight's another good game that we have to get up for. Like you said, it's that time of year where we got to make a push, and it starts tonight. We got to just take it one game at a time, and win this game, and then we have another 3 games to relax on and just kind of just work on some things that needs to be worked on.
Cam's ill. Al goes in. He's been pretty good since he's come to this team. What do you like about Al, and how much confidence does he give this group?
He brings a lot of confidence. Al's one of those veteran guys that come in here. He's vocal. He talks a lot, and he communicates with their D. He comes in and makes us positive. So, that's really good for us. He's been in the league for a long time, so he has a veteran status to win some hockey games. He's a really good goalie, so we're happy to obviously have him on our team right now, and we brought him in here to win some games, and tonight is another challenge, but we got to also help Al out too.
The Avs, the contrast between last year to this year is amazing. Just what have you seen on tape, and what have you seen in highlights from this Avalanche team that you're about to face?
Yeah, obviously they started figuring out their system. The coach has done a really good job bringing that team back together and back to life, so they've been probably the hottest team, them in Boston, in the league. So, it's a challenge for us. We're catching them in the standings. We obviously had success last year. When we were winning, they were losing, and I think it's roles reversed this year. So, but our team just needs to keep pushing away. You can't worry about results. You can't worry about what's going to happen. You just got to tie your skates on, put your work boots on, and just go out there and play. You can't worry about the results. So right now, just got to keep telling the guys that one game at a time and focus on one game, and then after that game's over, you focus on the next. So just got to focus on a good game tonight.
Between, Cam not being available.
All right, I asked Pat about the schedule and how few games you guys have played in the last 3 weeks. How does that affect a player such as yourself?
It can kind of take you out of a rhythm when you're playing every other day. You have a routine, and you just kind of go with the flow, and everything just flows nicely, and it's a lot easier to play that way. But we've had some time to rest, which is also good. Time to reset our minds, reset our bodies, and we're rejuvenated and we're ready to go.
Do you guys look at the big picture in these 30-odd games that remain, or is it more incremental, 1 game, 2 games at a time right now?
Yes and no. Obviously, you know that what the task is at hand, and you know that there's not that many games left. But at the same time, you just got to approach it, 1 game at a time, 1 period at a time. And if you start looking too far into the future, you lose sight of the task at hand, and the task at hand is the game tonight.
Okay. And speaking of tonight, Cam's sick. You got Al going in. Since Al's come here, he's been pretty solid for you guys. How has he fit into the group here, and what's he done on the ice that you've noticed?
Well, I think the way he just plays a really calm and relaxed game, and that kind of allows the team to settle in. And we have a lot of confidence in him stepping in and being the reliever as he has so far this year. And now we're excited for him to start. And we have a lot of faith in him, and he's going to do a great job.
Your pick for Super Bowl?
I don't know if you can go against Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. I don't know if you can go against him, but it'd be nice to see somebody else win. But I don't think you can bet against Tom.
know you've been answering this question for the last 3 days, but coming back from the break here, what are you kind of looking for your team to kind of get back into the flow of things?
Pace and execution, 2 words that we'll talk about tonight. We got to play fast and we've got to execute at that speed, and they kind of go together. If you're not clean coming out of your end, you're not passing the puck clean, you're not going to have pace. But also when you don't have the puck, can you work into position quickly and force the opposition into mistakes? And coming out of breaks, we've been really good in that situation. We've been poor. So it's somewhat unpredictable with our group, but that's what we'll talk about.
Expect Montoya to be solid. I mean, he's a veteran backup, and that's why you got your thoughts on having him for this situation.
Well, he's been in the league for a long time. He's been able to make a living doing what he's going to do tonight, coming into a situation like this. And as I said yesterday, our players feel really good about him. They enjoy having him around. He's been a tremendous backup and put into tough situations since he's been here, and he's been able to perform at a fairly high level. So we have a ton of confidence in him.
Are you expecting Talbot to be back and available by Monday?
Yes, he's at the rink this morning. He's run down. He's not feeling very good, like a lot of people in Edmonton or Alberta with the flu. But he'll be back. Hopefully he practices as early as tomorrow.
And your defense pairs without Larson, you had 7 last game. Do you have a plan on where you want to use Davidson?
Well, they'll be interchangeable, obviously, without Lars, and having only played the 1 game and 7 defensemen. We rotated guys around. We'll start a certain way, but I can't guarantee you we'll finish that way. Brandon will play tonight. He had a tremendous game against Calgary, and we'd like to think that he'll continue to do that.
When you're facing a team like the Avalanche who went on that really good run, but they're here without their best player, is there a challenge in trying not to worry about the fact that their best player is not here right now and look at them as a whole as opposed to, well, they're missing Nathan McKinnon?
Well, teams lose their best player. It affects them. One of our better players this year isn't playing right now, and that's Nuge. It affects our lineup. But that happens to every team. You can't deal with it. And the last time I checked, we were looking up at where Colorado was, and it was a team that we have to reel in somehow. And if it affects our mindset, that because they lost one of their top players and we don't have to work hard, we don't have to compete, and we don't have to be ready to play, then shame on us. Good. Yep.